Hello, it's Angela and welcome back to my channel, Literature Science Alliance. And today we're just going to do a March TBR, or also a library haul. It's basically a library haul. I have taken way too many books out of the library. But that's okay. It provides me guidance. I am luckily not much of a mood reader, so I really can just read anything on hand. There are very, like classic sci-fi, I need to be in the mood for anything really dry and thinky. But on average, I can read anything. So let's just get into it. In general, a lot of these are going to be on the BooktubeSFF Award nomination shortlist. So if you don't know what that is, I will link a bunch of stuff down below so you can join in on the fun. When the shortlist came out, I hadn't read a lot of 2019 releases, and what I had read wasn't like my favorite, so I'm really excited to see other people's favorites and decide for myself if these would have been my favorite of 2019. I'm a sucker for a list, and so I basically took almost all of them out. I don't have all of them right now, but I've got a large chunk. Starting with A Memory Called Empire by Arkady Martine, and I think this is part of a duology. It might be longer than that. I know it's not a standalone. And I don't know much about it. If you watched my judging books by its cover review with my boyfriend, he's probably right that whatever empire existed is not having a great time. But this comes highly recommended, and I'm really excited to get into it. I think Rajathon and Bookfinch have both highly recommended it, and it's on the shortlist for debut category and science fiction. And I've been wanting to read more good science fiction, so it's high on my list. And next up is, this was on the fantasy shortlist, and that is The Starless Sea by, I hate library books and their glare, but by Erin Morgenstern. I have not read, what's it, The Night Circus. It's on the cover of this book. But I know she has very, people call it purple writing. I assume that means it's very pretty and lyrical prose, kind of a lot in the detail, pretty for the sake of pretty. And I think, based on some vlogs that I've seen, this book is about a guy who finds a book and realizes his story is in that book, and that leads to a lot of intrigue and him trying to figure that out. I've heard good things. I've also heard mixed things. I'm kind of shocked it's on the fantasy list, just because I'm usually more in tune to fantasy, and I was just not expecting it, especially since this isn't even shelved at the fantasy section at most bookstores, so yeah. But I am intrigued. I'm actually reading right now a book that's similar in theme, so we'll see how those two compare. And then the last one, a physical copy that I have, is Recursion. So this was on the science fiction shortlist. And I've been wanting to read Blake Crouch in a while. I've heard nothing but amazing things about Dark Matter, which is another book by him. This was his 2019 release, and he's, I think, kind of a sci-fi thriller author. And I haven't read much thriller, but I do love good intrigue, and it's usually what thrillers bring to the table. And all I know about it is it has something to do with memory, and the idea of recursion in programming is repeating a function over and over again. So it's probably something with that. I'm really excited to be as confused as the main character is. And then the last one that I have for the BooktubeSFF Awards is This Is How You Lose the Time War. And this is a novella. And honestly, this was on a lot of people's best of 2019 lists as well, so I was really intrigued by it. And I've been wanting to read more short works. So this just came into my library, but I don't have it yet because I went in on Friday and picked up all these books, and this one came in on like Saturday. So I'll pick that up this week, and you'll have that on my March TBR list. So yeah, so those are for the BookTube SFF Awards, and the rest are for me. Well, this one kind of. So I've been once a month actually reading books with one of my friends here in the city, and last month I picked Gods of Jade and Shadow, and this month he picked Artemis. This is the author who wrote The Martian, which I did really like The Martian. I'd heard mixed reviews about Artemis, but if the writing style is anything like The Martian, it should be a pretty quick read. I don't know. I remember I read the synopsis for this like 2 years ago, but yeah, I don't know anything about it. This was just a pick my friend had, and I don't know. I like it when people read books I want to read, so I have someone to talk to, so that's like a thing I do. And the next one is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. I'm getting better with glare, learning about angles. It's like I can do science. But this is A Beauty and the Beast retelling, and I hear it's really well done and that the sequel's also really good. I've been needing a really good, like, gripping YA. Like, I'm really enjoying Renegades right now, but I really want one that just sucks me in, kind of like how Court of Thorns and Roses did and things like that. So I'm hoping it also just really grips me. Just the hope. I've heard really good things. Hopefully I haven't hyped it up too much in my head. And then the last one, I finally got Blood of Elves, and I think I'm the first person at the library to have it because it does not have a broken spine. It looks way too good to be a paperback that's been lent out, so I think I'm the first one for this copy because I think all the libraries in my region have been buying boatloads of these since the TV show came out. So since I finally have it, I'm really excited to continue reading this series. And that is it. Those are the books that are on my radar. That doesn't mean other things won't slip in, because that's what happens with me. Booktube is not good for your TBR, let me tell you. But I am excited to get to all of these. Let me know which you're going to be reading if you are also reading the shortlist for the BooktubeSFF and which ones you're excited to get to and what categories you're focusing on. I am focusing firstly on the fantasy, science fiction, and debut, but also want to do the novellas and part of the young adult. But yeah, that is this fabulous TBR. I know, it's pretty great, but if you like my bookish content, you can subscribe, like, comment, do nothing. But let me tell you, I love comments. I love when people say even if it's just like, I liked your video. I don't know. I'm only human. I like knowing that something I put work into was good for someone. I don't know. It's probably why I comment on everyone's videos, because I want them to have that joy. But yeah, you guys have a great day. Bye.